Hi YouTube, welcome back to a new video. Today I will be going through the books that I brought with me to my placement. So I haven't actually mentioned this before, but I am studying to be an occupational therapist, and for my last year I actually offered to do a placement away from home. So obviously when I left home I couldn't leave without some books. So today I'll be going through some of those books that I decided to bring from home and that I have bought since I've been here. So let's get on into the video. So the books that I'm going to talk about first are the books that I brought with me. And as you can see, they're now going from there. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is the book I'm currently reading, which is The Enchanted April by Elizabeth von Arnim. So this is basically a classic tale following four very different women that go on a holiday to Italy. Ain't that appropriate in this time? But so basically it follows these four women in this sort of castle in Italy where they're going to stay for the month of April, and it shows how they grow and change over this month and become slightly better people. So that's this book. The next books that I brought is actually a series. It is really the only series that I brought. It is the Rondo series by Emily Rodda. So obviously I brought The Key to Rondo, The Wizard of Rondo, and The Battle for Rondo. So I'm not going to talk about these two because obviously that's spoilery, but I will talk a little bit about Key to Rondo. So it follows these two young children who get given this box, and they are told you have to follow the rules of the box, otherwise something's going to happen. But they're children. They don't follow the rules of the box, and they get sucked into this world of Rondo, and they've got to make their way back without doing anything in this world that could tip the balance of stuff. So I'm really looking forward to reading this because I read this series quite a while ago and was one of the first fantasy series that I read, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to getting back into this one. And so I did bring another series, but it's slightly different. It's a 2-in-1. So it's a duology, but it's in the one book. And that is the Whisper Duology by Lynette Noni. So I am looking forward to getting around to this one because I bought this one recently with my Christmas money. So kind of recently. But it is a dystopian futuristic novel, and I'm looking forward to reading it. So it follows a person who has been experimented on by the government, and she's starting to fall in love with her evaluator. But as she is going through this, she begins to learn some different secrets and why she's been experimented on this whole time. So I am looking forward to getting around to it and understanding the titles of this series. The next one I brought is another big one, which maybe I should have brought some smaller ones, but anyway, that is the Arabian Nights, translated by Sir Richard Burton. So basically, this is the Arabian Nights classic stories that Aladdin was based on. So it's gorgeous, and I do really want to read it, and I'm looking forward to getting around to this. The next one that I brought from home is Rogue One, A Star Wars Story by Alexandra Freed. So this short story is based around the time of Rogue One, which is how these group of people got the plans for the Death Star that happened in one of the Star Wars movies, and I can't remember which Star Wars movie they are getting the plans for. So, but yeah, that's basically it. It's basically the story version of the Rogue One movie. So I'm looking forward to reading it. The next one I brought is the most recent twisted tale that has been released, and that is Unbirthday by Liz Braswell. And the premise of this one is, what if Wonderland was in peril and Alice was really, really late? So I've read all of the released twisted tales that have been released so far, and I have loved all of them, some more than others, but I am sure I will really enjoy this one because it is quite a bit thicker than some of the previous ones, but I'm sure I'll enjoy it. And the last book that I brought from home is Hunted by Megan Spooner. So this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, which is following the beauty who goes into the woods and is hunting the beast. And the catchline of it is, who will survive the beauty of the beast? So there's a bit more to it than that, but that's basically the main premise of this book, and that it's following them in that way. And I'm very much looking forward to getting around to this one. The next set of books are actually books that I bought to sort of fill the space in the unit that I'm staying in. So the first one is Friends and Rivals, Tilly Bascain. Sorry if I mispronounced this one. This one's actually not mine, it's my mother's. She just didn't have space in her bag to take it home with her, so I'm looking after it and I don't really know what it's about. So the next book that I bought is The Good Thief by Hannah Tinty. So this follows an orphan who's missing his left hand, and he doesn't know anything about himself other than he won't be adopted, which is really kind of sad. But then his long-lost brother, or who claims to be his long-lost brother, turns up and takes him away. But there's some holes in the story that are going to be found out, and it sounds really interesting, and I'm looking forward to getting around to it. The next one, I really should have checked this before I bought it, but anyway, that one is The Darkest Touch by Genna Showalter. And I'm pretty sure it's the Lords of the Underworld series. The funny thing about this is book 11. And I'm not very keen on reading book 11 when I haven't read book 1. So I can't actually read what this is about, but from the cover, I'm assuming it's got angels and demons and all that sort of stuff. So this one might not get read for a while, but it sounded cool when I read anyway. The next book I bought is the first book to a series, and that is called Palace, and it is by Catherine Kerr and Mark Kreger Annam. Sorry if I mispronounced any of that, but this is a fantasy series that is set in space, I believe, on a new world. So I'm not really sure much more than that, but I'm really looking forward positively to reading this one and getting around to it. And the last book that I bought is The Mech, which is a lyrical fantasy written by Steve Cash. So I'm fairly sure that this is a start of a series as well, but I'm very much looking forward to getting around to it because it's a fantasy sort of that they've got a secret race and they don't know who they are, but they're immortal and they don't know anything about them. So it just sounds really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to getting around to reading it. So those are all the books that make up my home for the next few weeks. Comment down below which one you think I should read next, and I might read that one next. Also, comment down below what you're currently reading. I'd love to know. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and if you want to see more videos, subscribe so you don't miss out. But I hope everyone has a lovely day and continues to live well. Bye guys.